So you may have noticed that some of your favorite games in your Steam library are nowhere to be found. And when you go to the store to look for them to re-download them, they're gone. So recently Steam has made headlines for removing a certain category of games. And if you want to know why your favorite games are no longer in your library, stick around for just a minute. I'll tell you everything you need to know. So recently Steam has made headlines for removing a large portion of its not safe for work content. And it's not because the gaming giant has recently developed a set of morals or values. And it's definitely not because they're trying to protect a younger audience from seeing such harsh and adult-rated themes. No, the real reason is because earlier this year, an Australian company called Collective Shout sent a letter to every major credit card company. These companies include PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and even the Japanese Credit Bureau. Now, the content of this letter actually can't be said in this video because it'll result in me getting banned. But here's a quick screenshot, which ironically had to be also censored, so pause to read. Now, if you read the letter, you may be wondering to yourself, how is that trying to ban an entire category of games? Well, it wasn't actually. The letter was sent to remove one game from its catalog, and that game is called No Mercy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that game, good. I would suggest you leave it that way. The game is so bad that it was banned instantly in the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia on launch. Now, let's kind of clear something up before we move on. The games that we're talking about that were removed, these are not your grocery store romance novel type games. No, these games are far worse. These games are if Dexter wrote 50 Shades of Grey and really dislikes women. Put it this way, if you search for these games, you're going to end up on some list somewhere. And if the actions in these games ever happened in real life, it would make Chris Hansen sick. So how exactly does one Australian company get an entire catalog of games removed? Well, the letter, along with the amount of signatures on their change.org petition, got so much traction that it caught the eye of the credit card companies. And these companies sent a letter directly to Valve and in no uncertain terms said, you will remove these games or we will block all payments from processing for your company. And Valve, being Valve, made the smart decision and instantly removed the games at the demand of the credit card companies. Now, before we rejoice in this moral victory, we need to understand that the Collective Shout is also working to get other games removed and has worked on getting some games removed in the past. Most notably, back in 2015, they worked to get GTA 5 in Australia removed from some Targets and Kmart's. They also worked to get Detroit Become Human taken off the shelves, but I was unable to find if that was ever actually successful. Now, let's make one thing crystal clear. The types of games that were removed, I'm actually quite happy to see gone. I don't think they promote growth within the video game industry. I don't think they move us forward as far as any advancement or bettering us as a community. I think they actually bring us backwards and divide our community as a whole. So I'm very glad to see they're removed, and I hope they don't actually come back. But where do we draw the line? Because it's now not up to us as consumers to decide what type of content we'll consume, what companies we will support, or what games we want to purchase. It's no longer left up to the developers to have creative freedom to make whatever game they want, whether it be successful or a flop. No, now it's left up to corporations to decide what type of content we will be getting. The same people that view us as dollar signs are now dictating what type of games we will be allowed to even see, what type of games will we even be allowed to purchase. Unfortunately, there's no good answer. And this is where I look to you. Is this a good decision? Is it bad? Is this the type of censorship and content restriction that we ultimately need as a society? Or should we be free to pick whatever we want, no matter how harsh or graphic it should be? So, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.